Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here, back with more Let's Play Final Fantasy IX. And the first half of this video is going to be post-commentary, then the other half is going to be live commentary, because the first half of this is a ton of backtracking, side questing, that sort of thing. So, as you can see here, we are on the chocograph. We have all of the chocographs, and we are going to go get all of the chocographs, and we're going to see what we get in said chocograph treasure chests. These chocographs are going to have some of the best weapons and items in the game for our party. Like, for example, we've had the whale, or not, we've had the dragon lance. Whatever lance Freya is currently using, I'm blanking on the name of it. That is her best lance. Like, there are a couple other lances that are like, yeah, this is close, but no, this is her best lance. So we've had her best weapon for a really long time. Some of these treasures are actually really hard to find, like this one here, the ocean one. Really, really a pain, because there's not... The chocograph pictures that go with it, not really helpful, because as you can see, that's not really indicative to where it is. It's frustrating. But we get all of these chocographs, which most of them are going to be filled with most crap. But there's a couple of them that have, like I said, best weapons, armor, available for most of our force. So it's worth going after these, because these treasures are actually, in the grand scheme, easier to get than trying to steal some things, or going after, say, the Excalibur 2. Like, just slightly easier to do. Time-consuming, yes, but slightly easier to do. So, as you can see, I cut out all the travel time as well, and just go to where I know the treasures are. And I get exceptionally lucky on some, and I cut out like 5-10 minutes of trying to find some of them. You know, just completely unlucky. It's like, I know it's here somewhere, but I can never perfectly match where it is. And with all the chocographs, there is also one other dead pepper treasure that we have yet to get. It's only available on Disc 4 after the events in Terra. So you go to where the Shimmering Isle was, and then you can use the dead pepper there, and that gives us Zidane's ultimate weapon. What frustrates me about that one is it's in the ocean, and there is not a bubble marker like there are every other treasure for bubble markers in the ocean. It is just, it's aggravating. So that one you kind of have to make sure you know what you're doing, otherwise you will end up just wasting dead pepper after dead pepper, because that one also does not give you a hot or cold response. And I really think that the hot or cold responses should have carried over to the world map treasures like this, because it'll just tell you the que with a question mark, exclamation point, signaling a treasure's nearby, as long as you are in that vicinity, but it doesn't get stronger if you get hotter or colder. I think that's something that probably should have been shifted into the world map mechanic as well, rather than just the Chocobo hot and cold. And here you see me trying to make sure I am in the correct place for the Shimmering Isle. There's that particular rock, and then there's a rock to the right of us that is supposedly L-shaped. Those are the easiest markers that I've been able to find, and even then, it's hit or miss on whether or not you will actually find it. But I managed to find it on the first try this time. Other times it took me like 6 or 7. So, when I actually went to record it, had no problem finding the ultimate weapon and the Maximilian armor, which is funny because Maximilian armor is armor for Steiner, but not Zidane. But Zidane's ultimate weapon's there. But with that, we have found all Chocograph treasures. We are done with the Chocobo Hot and Cold completely at this point. So once we've got those, the next thing that I go after are the remaining friendly monsters. So we have here the friendly Jabberwocky, who is on a forest just east of Olivert, I believe. So he's kind of obnoxious to find. All of these get more and more obnoxious, and from this point on, the item they give you when you complete it is the next item that they want. So we got a Moonstone from the Jabberwocky. When we go after the Feather Circle, who is on the ice continent, I believe near Estugaza, I think? I don't remember the names of the towns. He asks for Moonstone. So we just got a Moonstone from the Jabberwocky. He wants the Moonstone, so we get the Moonstone we got from the Jabberwocky to him. The friendly Feather Circle will give us another treasure that the next friendly monster will want from us. So that's how it... So Garuda. The next one that we get to meet is Garuda. And Garuda will ask for the item we get from Feather Circle, which is the Lapis. So Garuda wants the Lapis, so we'll go... And the Garudas are found on the same plateau that you fight the Grand Dragons, coming up from Gizmo's Grotto. So the Garudas are only found in the forests. I'm pretty sure all of these monsters are found in forests, except for, like, the Moo, the Feather Circle. But for the most part, you're going to have an easier time finding them in forests than anywhere else. So this one actually doesn't even tell us anything, it just kind of makes some erg noises. But that is not the last one. The last one is a friendly Yan. And Yan are actually the most powerful enemy that we can encounter just in general, because they have the ability to just remove someone from battle, and then they spam Meteor. Their speed stat is the highest of pretty much any enemy in the game, and they can just spam Meteor, which can just incinerate your party. The friendly Yan can actually be defeated multiple times. You can't... If you give him the diamond that he asks for, that's the only time he will show up, but you can actually choose to fight him and defeat him to get the same stats over and over again, so you can farm a ridiculous amount of AP and the Rosetta rings that he drops. So if you want to do that multiple times, you can. And with that, that's the end of the post-commentary, so we're going to switch over to live commentary in just a second. Alright, so since we've completed the Friendly Monster side quest and got the best weapons and armor that we can for our group at the moment, we're going to come and deal with the optional boss, Ozma. And like every other Square Enix game, Ozma is stronger than the final boss. The optional bosses are stronger than the final boss. So, this is an otherworldly feeling. It's, story-wise, I believe it's a failed Eidolon summon that got trapped very much like Leviathan did at the Aoife tree, that sort of thing. So, we can put together our party. We're going to be using my standard party, Dagger, Freya, Steiner, and we're going to see what everyone's got equipped. This fight is interesting because all of the guides say that it has an adapting AI, meaning it is entirely possible that if you have everyone have something that absorbs shadow, it will not cast a shadow element ability. So there are things that you want to keep in mind if that's the case. So I'm taking a gamble doing this. One other strategy is it has level 4 Holy and level 5 Death, to have someone of those levels so that they can target. I do have Steiner at 56, who he will be a target for level 4 Holy, but I do not have anyone capable of level 5 Death, meaning he won't cast that ability because there's no point to it. So that is one thing I know he will not do. And other things, it seems, if you have everyone with auto reflect, it will change his AI, as well. Supposedly it will power up his Meteor ability, an ability that cannot be reflected, so it can instantly... I mean, Meteor can already instantly wipe out your team if you are not careful. So, we're gonna... Why? No, we're not gonna auto potion. Like, I could, but at this point it really doesn't matter. So we're just gonna stick with that. Zidane, everyone has auto haste and auto regen, and then I've put status effects because it does have the curse ability, which will spread out a ton of status effects, most of which we really cannot protect against, like Mini. It also has the Berserk spell, so that's something we want to take into consideration as well. But since we are Berserked, we can still attack because of the friendly enemy side quest, making Ozma reachable with melee attacks, as well as taking damage from Shadow instead of absorbing Shadow. So if it does happen to cast Doomsday, it will take damage from it instead of being healed by it. So one thing that you could do is like just take off, you know, something that, you know, reduces Shadow element. I'm thinking I'm going to do something that reduces... Let's do reduces Holy. Well, no, because... Yeah, we'll do Shadow. That's fine. We'll keep... That way it's hopefully taunting the game to use Doomsday more, but it probably won't. So, we are ready. Let's fight it. And like I said, this fight is stronger than the final boss, so if you are able to beat this fight, you should be A-okay for the rest of the game. So, this boss is really lackluster in terms of its design. It's basically just two half-spheres rotating. But as far as actual mechanics go, this is probably one of the best optional boss fights I have ever encountered. Alright, so starting off with Death, and he is killing Zidane right off the bat. That's fine. We will bring Zidane back to life. Doesn't matter, our primary concerns are keeping Steiner and Freya alive. They are our damage dealers. Shock will do 9,999 as long as Steiner is not minied. If he is minied, it does affect his base stats because of the formula for Shock. Freya, however, no matter what, will deal a constant quad 9 because Dragon Crest is based off of... Its formula is based off the number of dragons you've killed, so if you've killed 100 dragons, it will always cap out. So, that's the only reason why I have Reflect on Freya, is to keep her from being berserked. Because I can stand having her minied because it won't, you know, do a lot of damage, but... Or it won't sacrifice her damage. However, of course, Steiner being minied, his shot goes from quad 9s to 231. So that is a major difference in effect. So, all right. But like I said, as long as we can keep Freya alive, that's really our goal. As long as Freya stays alive, we are fine. He can keep casting Berserk all he wants. I don't know why he tends to target Freya. It could be that it's based off of... And Doomsday even better, which means Freya, or Dagger may take some damage because she's the only one that does not have Shadow. But if she's the only one who goes down from this, that's fine. Because this is also going to damage Ozma. It'll heal everyone else except for Dagger and Ozma, and it just killed. Yep, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I really am. And Remedy will bring Steiner back up to full size so that he can do Shock for quad 9. Let's bring Dagger back to life. And Dragon's Crest. And let's see if we can do another Shock. Like I said, you don't have to have everyone alive, really. As long as I can keep Frey and Steiner alive, I should be golden. And it doesn't matter because I've killed Ozma. Ozma is dead. You can steal from Ozma. It has some useful items, like another pumice piece, another robe of lords. Not anything that's worth prolonging the fight for. So we're just going to go with the death and call that a win. So Ozma has been defeated, and I had 3 out of 4 party members alive, which, not bad considering how rough this fight can get. 100 AP, so again, I had nothing that could be learned on anyone because I've been learning things left and right, so not a problem. And then, as a reward, we get a full piece of pumice, as opposed to pumice piece, which gives Dagger the ability to summon Arc, the boss that we fought in Olivert, I believe. So, you're very strong. That's amazing. I recorded how I feel right now on a card. So we got the Ozma card, and we got the strategy guide. One more bonus, HP and MP restored and all status effects removed. So, I don't know if that resurrects Dagger. We're going to go back down to the world map so we can save it, so we do not ever have to deal with that BS again. That is the end of that. I'm done with that. Alright, so let's find a forest to land in, and let's see what everyone is up to at the moment. Come on, there we go. Yep, so she's alive, and then we now have the ability to learn, well, she actually would have learned something with Robe of Lords. That's hilarious. But now we have the pumice. Summon Beast from the Dark. It does not give us anything fun like the 2 pumice pieces, so that's rather unfortunate and obnoxious. But we do want to learn Arc. So yeah, that's it. That is the Ozma fight. One of 2 optional boss fights, this one being the stronger of the 2. So that's the end of that one. Hopefully, when I return, it will be back to regularly scheduled episodes with live commentaries opposed to post. If not, then I've got more side quests, but we'll see what happens in the next episode. So till then, later everyone.